this is Tyler. This is my channel, Simply Fragrances, and I'm super elated because we just went over 100 subscribers. That's right. Not only did we get 100, but we are now over 100 subscribers. So thank you guys so much for pushing me, pushing this channel, telling people about it and getting the word out. So thank you guys so much. Huge shout out to Tyrone over at BroSense. He's really kind of helped me out, took me under his wing a little bit, got me in contact with a bunch of people, and man, I can't thank you enough. Seriously, thank you so much, man. You're a real one. If I ever get to like the big dog league, 100,000 subscribers, whatnot, then man, I got something special for you. So, all right, just kidding. No, for real though. Honestly, like, thank you so much. But all right, guys. So this is actually going to be a tag video. So surprise, surprise, Tyrone, you are tagged. Tyrone over at BroSense. You are tagged Hunter, Hunter about fragrance, all about fragrances, and then Keith over at The Fragrant Life. You guys are tagged, and what this is going to be tagged of, as you can tell by the title, this is going to be the top 10 fall office fragrances. Okay, these are going to be the top 10 fall fragrances that you would like to wear into the office, or that you think are safe for the office, not offensive, just easy to wear type fragrances. So I know we're still kind of in this weird time, but I also know that stuff is starting to finally reopen. I went to Sephora today, got my nose on some new stuff, smelled the new John Varvatos. Man, it's amazing. Excuse me. I know that a lot of places are starting to open it back up. A lot of people are starting to go back from working at home to working in the office. So I thought this would be a good time to do it, and it's my favorite time of the year. It's fall leading into winter. It's my favorite type of fragrances, so I wanted to do this. This is my top 10 plus 2 honorable mentions. You guys don't have to have any honorable mentions. Obviously, if you want to, you can be top 10 plus 12 honorable mentions. I don't care. But this is my top 10 plus 2 honorables. This is niche and designer, so you guys feel free to do it however you want. You can do just designer, just niche, designer, stuff you get at Walmart, Target. I don't really care. Just whatever you guys want to do. So, but let's go ahead and get into this. My first up on the list, the only reason why this didn't make the list is because I have a couple that are similar to this, and so I didn't want my whole just top 10 lineup being ones that smelled super similar. But some of them are gonna just go into just because it fall winter type fragrances. But anyways, first one up on the list, this is Mont Blanc Legend Night. This one is amazing. It is a sweet honey tobacco vanilla type vibe to it. Super safe to wear for the office. Really good compliment getting. I love it. My wife loves it. Really looking forward to wearing this one in the fall weather. Finally, we're starting to get some fall weather today. Got up to like 65, so man, it's right up my alley. Alright guys, next on the list for the honorable mention, the only reason why this one is on the honorable mention is just because I think that one other one beat it. Like, it was literally a tie between these two, and you probably just saw it. But my number 12, I guess, or just my second honorable mention, is going to be Tom Ford's Oud Wood. The only reason why this one is not on the list, it's so good, guys, but the only reason why it's not on the list is because oud is kind of one of those weird ones to get into. I think it could be a little bit challenging and maybe not exactly 100% office safe. This one is a little bit of a heavy hitter off my skin, so that's why I put it on the honorable mention. But it's so good, it's beautiful, it's amazing. If you're looking to get into oud type fragrances, this is a really safe bet to start with. So Tom Ford's Oud Wood, second honorable mention. Now, just because they're honorable mentions doesn't mean I don't like them, doesn't mean that they're worse or better or anything like that. That's just what I put them at. So, all right, guys, let's go ahead and get into this. My top 10 list, okay? The one that beat out Oud Wood was one that I love. Like, it was love at first sniff. Like, it's amazing. But I chose this one because these type of fragrances are really starting to make a comeback. I've seen more and more people start talking about them. They're in people's top 10s, top 5s, stuff like that a lot more often now. And this is Zahara Signature Pour Homme. This is a barbershop fougere type fragrances with a modern twist, and I believe, in my opinion, the modern twist is this pear note in there. Like, this is amazing. So it's been kind of compared to Ultramel a little bit, but I think that the pear note in here is a lot more smooth, a lot more less sweet, not as in your face, and you still get that gentleman type quality fragrance. This is amazing. Like, guys, if you like barbershop fougere type fragrances, check this one out. They're starting to make a comeback. And speaking of Zahara, his new flankers launch Monday. So I've been talking with Mr. Zahara for the past probably, I don't know, month almost now. Like, he's just a really good dude. Been in close contact with him and been talking with him. Good guy, guys. If you haven't checked out my video on this, go ahead and check that out. I'll leave a link in the description for that if you want to check it out. But really good stuff, guys. Modern barbershop fougere type fragrance. So number 9 on my list. The only reason why this is number 9 and not higher is just because I know that this is kind of a, not really polarizing, but it's kind of love or hate it in the fragrance world from what I've gathered. I love it, obviously. You know what I'm talking about here in a second. This is signature scent worthy to me, which is saying a lot because I have so many different fragrances. But this is Bond number 9. This is Bleecker Street. This is, man, it's so good, guys. It's so good. Okay. This is citrusy, it's woodsy, it's vanilla, it's amazing. So it's really known for like that fresh green grass type fragrance with that blueberry note. But whenever I looked up the notes on this, it really stood out to me. I was like, man, why is this so good to me? Guys, there's oak moss, there's cedar wood, there is vanilla in here. So not only do you get that citrusy freshness, but you get that woodsy vanilla vibe. Some guy is revving up his engine. Sorry about that. But you get all this. You get the citrus, you get the vanilla, you get the woodsy notes, and this is freaking delicious. Like, so good. If you haven't checked this out, go look at my video for this. It's amazing. So number 9 is Bond number 9. Hey, no pun intended. Didn't even plan that. But Bond number 9 is at number 9. And that's Bleecker Street. At my number 8 spot, this one is really, really good, but off my skin, it's a heavy hitter, so that's kind of why it's a little bit lower. I do think it's still safe for the office, but off my skin, I really got to be careful with how many times I spray it. This is Dolce Gabbana, the 1 EDP. This stuff, oh man, this is what I call my James Bond scent. This is how a classy, sophisticated gentleman should smell. Like, I call it James Bond just because, man, like, whenever Pierce Brosnan pops out of the Aston Martin or whatever, he's trying to get that chick or whatever. Man, this is what he's smelling like. I don't know, but that's just what I imagine. Like, this stuff, it's so good. It's classy. It's sophisticated. It's dark. It's woodsy with a little bit of a dark citrus note in there. I think it's like orange or something. Guys, this is perfect office and also perfect date night fragrance. So if you haven't checked this out, haven't got your nose on it, I mean, everyone's done a review on this, but go check this one out. Dolce & Gabbana, the 1 EDP. Number 8. Number 7. Number 7. Now, for me, I couldn't include a fall fragrance list without having some sort of a leather note on there. Now, with that being said, leather is one of those fragrances, one of those notes that's really hard to like do right because it can be either way too strong or just weird. And like, I don't know, like there's some that are just kind of weird. So a leather is one of those scents that you either love it or hate it. I lean towards the loving it, but I think if it's done right, it's beautiful, and I think that this one is done perfectly. This is number 7. This is Parfums de Marly Godolphin, however you want to say it. This stuff, man, it is amazing. This is a very light, creamy, just subtle leather note. I don't know how they did it. Like, they've made it to where it projects very well, but it's light. Like, I don't know how to describe it. It is a light type fragrance. Like, yeah, that's just, I don't know how to describe it. It's a light, creamy leather fragrance. It's not pungent. It's not super in your face. I wore this the other day and I got told I smell like a CEO. This stuff is amazing. So if you guys are into leather fragrances or want to start getting into it, check this out. This does have a raspberry, like, it's not in the notes itself, but it does come off like a kind of like a raspberry note in there. So it has got compared to Tom Ford's Tuscan leather, but I think this outshines it just night and day. Like, this stuff is, oh, it's so good. Number 7, Parfums de Marly Godolphin. My number 6 spot. This one is, like I said, it's how a gentleman should smell. It's made so many of my different videos. Top 10 compliment, top 10, date nights, you know, all kinds of different videos I've done. This one is just super awesome. This is John Varvatos original. This is spicy, citrusy, sweet, dark, like just amazing fall type fragrance. Really safe for the office, very inoffensive. It's a good compliment getter. Doesn't project super big, so you don't have to worry about overspraying it really. I get compliments all the time wearing it. I love it. It's just how a gentleman should smell. Like that's the best way I can put it. It's just a great fragrance. All right, at my number 5 spot, this one, it was really hard to pick between this one and the other one I have, but I seem like I always go for this one. I don't know why, but I love this stuff. I think it's a little bit more easy to wear. This is Yves Saint Laurent L'Homme, and as you can tell, I've put a huge dent in this. This is a 200 ml bottle, and I've probably used like close to, I don't know, 70 mLs or so. I don't know. I've used a lot. This stuff is so good. This stuff is, it's a perfect fall office fragrance, honestly. Like, that's obviously why it's in the video, but this has a ginger note in there that is just to die for. It's sweet, it's spicy, it's fresh. Guys, it's just a workhorse. You can wear this literally all year round, but I think it truly shines in the spring and fall months, so that's why it's on this video. All right, guys, at my number 4 spot, I picked this one, and you're like, why didn't you pick Creed Aventus? Why haven't I seen Creed Aventus? Creed Aventus. Guys, like, Creed Aventus is amazing. Don't get me wrong. I love it, and it's amazing. But there's so many different fragrances out there that are so close to it, but offer a little bit different twist to it. And in my opinion, it's cheaper, so that's just why I went with this one. This is Mont Blanc Explorer. I've mentioned this so many different times. Guys, this smells like a fruity batch of Creed Aventus in the opening, but as it cools down, it takes this like kind of woodsy, leathery twist to it, and I love it, and it's perfect for the fall. Obviously, you can see I've worn the crap out of this, and I wore it to the office so many times whenever I had an office job, and I got so many compliments. This stuff is amazing, so I chose this one just because it's cheaper, and you know, whenever you have Creed Aventus, I mean, this is just my opinion, I use it for more special occasions, stuff like that, and you know, I mean, I'll occasionally rock it in the summertime just because it's a good fragrance, but it's expensive, so I try and save it. That's just my own personal opinion, and this to me in the opening is a spot-on rendition of it, so that's just why I chose it. So, all right, guys, Mont Blanc Explorer. Now this next one, it's also going to be a Creed Aventus type, but this one has a hyped up vanilla note in there. So you might have guessed what I'm talking about. At my number 3 spot, this is Parfums Vintage Vanilla Intense. And I personally, in my own opinion, I like this better than the Aventus. I really do. Like, I'm not gonna lie. This stuff, it is darker, it's smokier, it has this sweet amped up vanilla note in there, and oh my gosh, guys, this just works off my skin, and it is perfect for the fall. But with this one, you have to be careful. I did 3 sprays, and man, this stuff, it'll clear a room. Like, it just projects so much. Like, little short story, I have the Parfums Vintage Pineapple Vintage Intense, and I did 5 sprays. Now that seems like a lot, and it was, but with this one, it literally projected so much that I was in my cubicle. People would walk by my cubicle, like 3-4 foot away from my cubicle, and they could smell me. So that's why you gotta be careful with these guys. These guys project like a monster, and they last forever. But number 3 spot is gonna be Parfums Vintage Vanilla Intense. Shout out to Luke for this one, man. Thank you so much. Now, this one at my number 2 spot may surprise you, because you're like, hey, I know your favorite house. For those of you who've been on my channel a while, you know my favorite house, you know my favorite fragrance, so you're like, why haven't you seen this yet? Well, at my number 2 spot, Parfums de Marly Herod, and you're like, what? This is not your number 1. I could have swore that you're gonna put this at number 1. Guys, honestly, I could have made half of this video with just Parfums de Marly. They're my favorite house. I love them, but I wanted to challenge myself, and I wanted to stretch myself and not pick this as my number 1, because this always makes my number 1. So my number 2, Parfums Vintage Herod. What do I gotta say about it? Oh man, sweet honey tobacco awesomeness. Like, if you want a good honey tobacco sweet fragrance without being obnoxiously sweet, this is the one you want, guys. It's amazing. It does get kind of bad performance on some people's skin. On mine, I get pretty decent. So, but yeah, number 2, Parfum St. Marley Harriet. It was really, really hard not to pick that as my number 1. But my number 1 spot, this one, I forgot how much I love this. And my wife just told me when I wore this the other day, she was like, I think this might be my new favorite. So that was a big shock to me. But guys, this to me is the quintessential office fragrance and a quintessential fall fragrance. If you don't have this for your fall lineup, you need to get this. This is Hugo Boss bottle number 6. Oh my gosh. So good, guys. This is warm apple pie spice with some citrusy freshness in a bottle. If you guys, oh man, if you guys like, if you've ever smelled Parfum St. Marley Hobdon, let's see what else is there, Apple Brandy by Killian. This is similar, but this one, in my opinion, is a little bit better. This has more of a cinnamon note to it. So you get this warm apple pie with amped up cinnamon, but some freshness, some citrus in there. And I don't know really what it is other than apple. But this stuff is so good. Guys, this came out in the 90s, and it has that 90s vibe, but it doesn't smell dated. Like, I don't know how to make that make sense, but you can definitely tell that it has that 90s vibe, but it just doesn't smell dated. It smells like fall in the 90s. I don't know, like that makes any sense. But super great, super compliment getting. I've got lots of compliments off of it. My wife likes it. I like it. It's amazing. It's my number 1. Might surprise you, but guys, that's my lineup for fall office fragrances. So guys, Tyrone, Bro Sense, Hunter all about fragrances, and then Keith over at The Fragrant Life. You guys are now tagged. This video did go a little bit long, but it's really hard not to when you have 12 fragrances to go over. So, all right, guys, that's gonna do it for this video. Thank you guys so much. Guys, thank you so much for getting me to 100 subscribers. Guys, this is amazing. Can't thank you guys enough. So, all right, guys, like I say, if you love it, wear it.